this pyramid for the next session. So hello everybody, here is Pt2 speaking, hard heads and clear minds. And today I have the guest with me, Tom, who is a specialist of certain areas of psychology. And then he will help me to speak about these industrial related but still human focused topics. Before we continue, can you please introduce yourself a little bit so those who just joining this session, they still get a little bit of information about you?
Okay, I work as a therapist now, mainly not with business, but I have a background from as a business leader and all the processes that goes on within a business and an organization. So I'm very curious about how we can use the knowledge of organizations combined with the knowledge of the human being, which is of course the basis of all organizations, but we tend to forget that in this fast world we are living in. So this is one of my fascinations, that how can I in this case, how can I use my knowledge in this different kind of fields to improve both people's lives, individuals, but also how organizations can thrive on opening up more in a different way than they are used to. So I think both things are very interesting, and it goes together like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then those who's watched the previous episode, we ended that episode with the topic of influencing the top managers, discussing why human focus need to be one of the priority. So in this episode, we continue from there. I have a pyramid drawing and an arrow from top to bottom. So if we talk with managers about human performance and how we suggest handling this topic, what do you think, what could help them easily understand what is an underestimated risk if we don't take care about the human perspective of a project in a deeper level, not just from procedures and procedures and safety, lessons learned, documents, perspective, like what else we can introduce to them to understand what are the risks if we don't do anything with this topic?
Yeah, well, I would say that to talk to them about risk, and there is a risk if you don't, that wouldn't be an approach I would go into, because fear creates fear. So this is all about the opposite, which is to, as we talked about in the previous one, that to create safety within the person, the individual, but also in the group. So I would start the opposite way, in a way, that I would start with each individual. If there's a group, I would also, talk to the whole group about this and really ask them questions rather than telling them my views on things. I will probably eventually do that as well, but I will invite them in, because if they have a chance of, sharing their challenges in life at the workplace at some level, it doesn't mean that they open up totally the first moment, but if you give like the baseline of the group is that you can actually share a little bit more than normal. Normal would be like, okay, we have this agenda, we're going to run through that, and I'm going to talk and say what you're going to do, and you can have inputs, but this is the line we're going to follow. That won't create an opening and an atmosphere of co-creation in a way, and safety again, that word, always the safety. So instead of talking about the technical safety side at the workplace, as I guess it's a lot in your work, you start talking about the personal safety, how you feel safe. Okay, that could involve technical, practical sides as well, but also how you as a human being feel safe. How is that? What doesn't make you safe? What is that? So if you can start at that level, on that side of the equation, then you can build from that. Eventually you can go into all the technical aspects as well. But if you jump straight into that and you just, if you don't recognize the human aspects of every individual, then you lose a lot of just safety and potential in the group.
So having these conversations, I think, requires quite a skill, because it can be very uncomfortable when some people talk, 3, 4 maybe, who already open to talk, and the rest of them silence. And you try your best, and as a leader or manager, like, okay, they told me to ask these questions, because maybe they receive a presentation, like, okay, go through on these topics and ask these questions. So what a leader can do who just try some techniques like opening up people, but see that 70% is not engaged. Because I think what makes them stressed when they receive safety meeting topics like talk like this is that they don't know, and they don't know how to handle when 70% of people are just not communicating, they are closed. So is it a quick fix, or is it a skilled person who should do it instead?
Well, I would say that yes, it's not for everyone to have this approach to begin with. 10 years ago, I couldn't do it myself, and still then I was like in my 50s. I was still like a grown man, but I didn't have the confidence to do this thing that I'm talking about now. I was too insecure and too, occupied by not showing what's behind the mask, my mask. So it does require some skill and some knowledge and some experience. And but having said that, it's all comes down to what is the actual task here? What is the challenge at the workplace or in the group? So for some groups, it will be possible to have a leader that is, looking into this kind of method, if you can call it that, without being, fully, secure in that or confident in that. That could be possible, but again, that to make it like a generalization is very difficult to just talk theoretically about it as we do now. So it really needs to be looked at individually, both the group, the task at hand, and the experience for the individual manager. But again, I think as you have your beautiful pyramid there, it's like if the top management are not on board on this and don't understand what benefits it can give, then you will have a problem all the way. So you need to have this accepted in the organization, I think. Yeah, to be efficient. Yeah.
And when you said that they will have a problem all the way, plus back, because I also had the experience of not having any team building, not having any open conversations, and the team leaders come to the local site management with their problems, that they have a problem with this person, with that person, and every day. And the managers on large-scale projects, they have a lot to do. They are mentally really tired, and they use all the capacity during the day. And having the extra work and stress about the team is not functioning is just something that really we should avoid. And on the top level, basically, this is not known, because on the top level they see numbers, we have the goals, targets, but then below, the executing team on the project, they have to face all. So from us, from management on site, it requires a lot of extra focus and work how to fix this now. When people are just not open, they just talk behind each other. Maybe just the team leader need better communication or awareness or more people skill. But now, 10 team leader coming to the office, talking about certain thing that they have a problem with. And what one of my favorite manager used to say, when somebody comes in with a problem, he asks, okay, what is your solution for this? Because, it's easy to complain. And of course, we are the managers and they have to tell us what is the problem. But having the mindset of solution, we try to turn it on. But how is it? So now the top managers not really aware of this. So we are at the site management level with team leaders and technicians. What the managers can do in this case, when they have several team leaders coming to them with the problem of their teams, what do you think? In a high stress environment, a lot of cognitive workload.
Well, it's an interesting angle to it, because it's for me it always comes down to the individual meeting. So ideally, and I don't know the situation here, but ideally every manager that have people in his group that are creating problems, or there's issues there, it's always a matter of how do you deal with that. That's one example. If, as you said, this is probably a good leader that asks, well, how would you solve it, yourself? If he does that in a good way, that will create some, okay, maybe I should, I can do it myself. So again, it's about engaging each individual. Ideally, as I said, each individual would have at least an offer for an individual session with a trained therapist or coach or whatever that can handle this, to make sure that they are understanding that it's not everything that goes out there that creates problems for me, and I have to handle it, all that. If you are trained to, and you start looking at all the problems out there as something that affects you in a way, and you look at why is that and where does it affect me and what can I do, how can I handle my emotions about this myself. It always comes down to that, but at certain levels it's hard to bring that in directly, because then people will just be put all on their shields, and I don't want to go into my own personality here. But that is the key to really change things. that they have like a secure space that where they can actually look at how can I change my attitude towards this terrible worker I have, you know? How can I do something about my own attitude rather than how can I fix him and change him? You know, so this is like the difference that in general the work environments around they don't take this into consideration. It's almost like looking out there at the problem and we're going to fix it this way or that way or bring someone else in to fix the problem, you know. But if you mature into a way that you can actually look at how do I react to this and how does it affect me and how can I maybe look at it in a different way? How could that release the energy, the negative energy which is in the area to become like a positive energy? And that comes into the, of course, we can call it spiritual or just presence or whatever it is, but it's more close to what we are as human beings and how we work, how we operate in our emotional lives and in our brains and our bodies. So, yeah.
And there is so many things that you mentioned. So many things affects the reaction of people. So if a leader gets frustrated and angry and don't have a patience to someone, we don't know what's up with the leader. What's up with his background? Is everything okay at home? Or there's an argument going on with someone, a loved one at home, or he's just lonely and just frustrated and not doing sport and just have the generally not a good well-being. And then he's leading a team, and then he gets frustrated because of every single thing, and then seeing what makes him frustrated and what he does. Did he do any talk with the guys, or he's just coming here and just telling us every negativity he has inside? Because maybe if he have a problem with someone who puts the tool here instead of here, and he tells the person he don't like that way because of this and that, maybe it's just solved, and that was just talking. So there is just several aspects of this topic when somebody have a problem with others. So what is inside that person's head, what is at home, and then seeing, of course, the situation, what is with the worker, and then asking the worker, like, we had this feedback, what do you think about this? Are you agree with this, that you are not behaving or you are not doing the right things? Because maybe the person not even have the information or the input from the team leader. So when we come down from top manager level on site, there's so many things we have to evaluate, ask, and check instead of just moving people around like on the chessboard. And not every leader have the background knowledge, as you said, to look at this from all angles that needed, because maybe that's also a manager mindset he has, and just, okay, let's take this out, put this in, and then okay, let's hopefully TV works there. And then this just reminds me that the team leaders are the golden middle, because the top managers sign the project, give the project a go, the site management is dealing to make everything work, and then the team leaders have the biggest impact on the project, because if they don't talk to the technicians they work with, then they bring back the problem to the managers who don't really have capacity of fixing everything or the knowledge. So the best would be, from my perspective, of course, having the management, the site management, education on certain things. And when we talk about education, nobody had, I guess, in the school psychology or mindfulness or human behaviors topics in normal schools, because we either were engineers, either or other studies we choose, but generally people just had zero education about human psychology, mindfulness at least. And it's very sad, but we have to acknowledge this, that people don't have knowledge about these things. So we can just expect having management skills and technical skills of someone, and then he's operating with humans, but he don't have the human education. Maximum experience, a few years, of course, but it doesn't mean that he's an expert on humans. So it's interesting how many things coming together when we start to take one problem apart. And it just, again, shows me that these people on projects, every company, need experts who they can contact, for example, as you said. Let's have a call with a coach or a mentor. We have this topic, please have a call now and discuss it. Or having it on site if it's possible. And then the managers can just say, great, we have a problem. There we have a person to deal with to make this work, because the company don't have the capacity of organizing a week or weekend team building. But at least they hire someone for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, just to make the team cohesion possible. Because otherwise it will be several months of pain, of finding out who to fit where and how, and then we just play this chess game instead of having the home and family feeling that everybody would prefer, I guess, at work, like having a nice calm environment where I know you will talk to me when you have a problem, and you are sure I will talk to you when I have anything, and then we just discuss it. No fear, but safety. But at the moment we are at the stage where people just go to a project and then good luck, do the project, get the job done. So what can destroy this minimal psychological safety when people just meet like this?
Sorry, what do you mean? Like, what can destroy?
Like, we don't even have all these great ideas implemented, but what can affect already the workforce in a negative way? So what can destroy that somebody is coming open, I'm ready for this, I'm happy for this project, I'm here?
Yeah, I like to look at it from not what can destroy it. Again, like looking at the risk and what can be destroyed, rather than looking at the opportunities and the positive input on it. So I think one of the things that I've learned in my own life is that at one stage I was so involved in solving everything, like very eager to fix everything and make it the perfect organization, and everyone is happy and blah blah blah. But let's face it, let's be honest about that. The world is at the state in general now. The people of this planet now is most of them are out of consciousness. They're not open to things because they are so scared of different things, from the world situation to their own job to their whatever that is in their environment. So I come to the I wouldn't call it a conclusion, but at the time being I'm focusing on what I can do in a positive way, not going out to solve all the problems. I'm just gonna focus on my own life, how I can be loving towards the people I meet, including you and everyone in this room. It's like, this is what I can do at the moment, and that will have, I also know it will have ripple effects. But if I focus too much on all the the tasks that I should have been doing or that I could have done, I should go out there have a bigger arena so I can reach more people and blah blah blah, then I'm too. That's what I'm learning. I have learned that then I get too focused on my head, my intellectual looking at how to solve a problem, rather than actually being with myself, my feelings, and as you beautifully said in the beginning, to spread love into this world, which for some would, oh come on, you know, but it's true. This is something that really gives me energy, and if that means seeing 10, 20, 30 people and that's it, well, fine. I've achieved what I'm aiming for, to create something in my local environment. So to put this into this talk and this perspective of this talk, how we can bring this out into the professional world, into the business world, where where money and profit is the driving force, and fear. So we can do both, I think. That's why I said I think this is an interesting topic, and I also have a couple of projects where I'm looking into this. How can actually this way of looking at people and be more humane create also a better business world, including high profit, if that's also an aim, for good companies in a way that is sustainable. It's a good thing to bring in new aspects so they can also have profit and grow towards a better world. But yeah, it's I'm talking my way out now, but it's really a matter of combining those two, the humane aspect of it, to really see every person you talk to, really listen to them, so they can see in the business world, they can see that, okay, this manager or this other colleague of mine, he actually sees me, regardless of if he thinks I'm good or bad or whatever, but there's a connection, there's contact. And that is really the basis of all successful dealings in the company or organization. Yeah.
It's I understood the whole thing, even it was a longer, but it was totally correct as what you said. I really like the seeing the other, because we cannot see the other when we have all the filters in our mind and eye and judgments and all these things. If we are not open, connecting people, we will just manage people. And that's, I think, what managers should have as a skill, to really focus and be with this person, feel them, how they are, how they look. Are they the same like yesterday, or you feel that they are off? How can you do this? You can only do this when you listen and you be with that person. So the awareness, the general awareness, is what I'm trying to make work at work, just to have people to be present, to be in this team, in this situation now. But what is, again, another layer, they always bring new mindset from another project and another project where safety was nothing, everybody was talking about, but it's just procedures, they just want me to sign this paper. Yeah, we have to demolish this, demolish that, to get there to a person. So I always have like 3-4 hours talk with an entire group, and then I just ask them, like, what do you think about this topic and that topic, and who have some problems? When they don't talk about, I just talk, and then I see some reactions. Now I catch the reaction, and then that's how people just start to slowly open up, because they see I can talk, I don't stop, I'm not afraid of the topics coming up, so just bring it on. And then it's usually just like a backpack of a team, and then we just empty it on the table. And many of them are curious if I'm brave about talking about this topic, if I have the courage to go into a heated discussion because someone have some emotions coming up because of some company related topics, and I say, yeah, just say it. I need to hear it. I'm working here. I want you to feel good, and I see you don't feel good. And then once everything is there, we checked every single item that was in the backpack of everyone, those who speak up. Then maybe in the next session, we will go further, and then 2 more people or 3 more people will talk, and then just build this trust slowly with complete openness and seeing everybody and understanding everybody. So it was really good that you just brought up all these things, because this just shows that the layers of this at work is just so wide and so much that only those who have experience and skills for this to do can deal with. Otherwise, if you push someone there because you have 10 years of experience of mechanical work, you are the supervisor and team leader, and then the manager is who have 15 years of experience as a mechanical team leader. Okay, you will do this. Yeah, we can push them on the front of the guys, and they will just feel awkward and tension and stress about it, and they will just try to deal with this topic, but they just not comfortable of confronting. So this is why we have the hard heads and clear minds to speak about all these topics, so the hierarchy of management can listen to us. You as a technician or team leader can listen to this podcast and just share it with your management, with your team leaders, whoever you feel should hear us. Because once people get aware of certain topics, little change can start. So I want to have the spark in people, and then hopefully we reach the goal, seeing companies calling us and asking for support. And hopefully they will feel that focusing on humans and real connections at workplace is really crucial. So we don't have to have 50 pages of documents describing how to work safe, because we just generally want to have a good time at work. We take care of each other because I like you, I want you to wear your helmet, wear your glass when it's needed, I don't want to have any injury on you. And then we complete the task. And yeah, we also read and sign the 50 pages, good, we understood. But we just generally take care of each other without the 50 page to sign. So this is where we want to get, plus feeling good together and talking openly. And for men, this is the hardest. And if we don't have the right knowledge, experience, maybe the therapy or any other inner work that people do, even meditation, anything, that we cannot get there. We need experts from outside to lead people into this path. So I hope you enjoy the Hard Head, Clear Mind second episode. And I bring in more experts to explore all these interesting topics that I could speak until morning for sure. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And see you soon. Like and subscribe. I learned this from the previous guest. He was really good. Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you, Peter.
It was really good as we went within this natural flow of communication, because we know the topics. So hopefully people will also just feel these topics a little bit more and more. Like, what is this exactly and what to do with this? So it's not just one presentation I send out. It's not 2. And it's not 1 day of drinking, eating. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I like when we succeed. And it was a success, because improvisation, that's something like just brings generally an honest conversation, because the scripted questions and things, they are just not really fits into the normal flow of conversation.
I so agree, and I think, well, the paradox with, you know, podcasts in general is that we talk. Of course, we need to talk because it's a podcast. But you know, as you know, it's really not about the talk. You know, it's really to be, when you look, you know, seeing another person. It's not about the talking. It's just seeing and being. So that's, I always find that's a paradox with, especially, you know, self-development podcasts and things that, you know, we talk and talk and talk, and all the experience, and yeah, my spiritual journey. I was a year in India, and I was doing this and doing that, you know. But it all comes down to now, you know, what's happening exactly now, and being with that. So yeah, I find that.